Coltrane patterns, amazing flexible and melodic 4-note shapes. Add Coltrane's amazing melodic 4-note patterns to your playing. I think a lot of you will agree with me, listening to Coltrane is amazing. We probably all have one or more periods of Coltrane's playing where we think he sounds amazing, maybe all of it. I really like most of his playing, and that is also why I want to share my experiences with you on this. In this video I'll look at the amazing 4-note patterns of John Coltrane and give you an easy how to add some of these to your playing. In this tutorial, what are Coltrane patterns? The 3-5-2-1 pattern on major 7 chords, on minor 7 chords, on dominant chords, how to practice the 3-5-2 pattern technically, 6-5-3-2 pattern, the most flexible pattern, examples and stuff, and the technical practice of the 6-5-3-2 pattern. More Coltrane patterns, the practice manual. Hi there, I'm Søren and welcome to Søren Saxophone Lessons. Thank you for checking in on me, I'm still alive. If you have not already given me a great big fat like and a subscribe, you're welcome to hit the buttons. Coltrane patterns coming up. What are Coltrane patterns? Coltrane patterns are basically just 4-note shapes fitting chords. The basic Coltrane patterns which most people think about when mentioning this is the 1-2-3-5 pattern. This pattern fits great over all major chords, C major and C7 for example for this pattern. You can also fit this pattern over an A minor 7 chord. The super duper smart thing about this pattern is the usability. It fits perfectly over many different chords. It's a short line which you can play in a 2-beat time. If you look at it, you can turn it around and shape it how you would like. Just turning the pattern around gives you twice as many possibilities with only these 4 notes, up and down. We can also start mixing the notes around. In this example, 3-5-2-1 on a C7 chord for example, and here playing the 5-1-3 on a C7. In one of my earlier videos I go through the 1-2-3, the basic pattern, 1-2-3-5 pattern. You can check the link in the description, the most important melodic Coltrane structures. Let's look at a couple of different Coltrane patterns and put them to use. I have chosen the 3-5-2-1 pattern on a major 7 chord here. The first 4-note shape I want to look at is the mutation of the 1-2-3-5, what I just mentioned, the 3-5-2-1 pattern. I've chosen the 3-5-2-1 pattern played in a major scale. This fits our basic major chords from the root, here on a C7 chord. You see we have the 3rd, the 5th, the 9th and the root on our pattern compared to the C7 chord. On a C major chord it's exactly the same. 3-5-2-1 on the C major chord. The pattern also fit the minor 7 chord from the 3rd. Looking at the A minor chord, A, C, E, G, you still have fitting chord notes in this pattern, E, G, D, C. Here on an A minor 7 beginning on the 3rd, you see that? 1-3-3-5, 3-5-2-1. In this scenario you could describe the pattern as the 3-4-5-7 pattern. I choose not to do this because basically this will confuse. I stick to calling the pattern 1-2-3-5 or some mutation of this. When looking at how we can use this pattern, we put it into different chord settings. Adding the pattern on a C major 7 chord, starting out with the 3-5-2-1 pattern, adding a small tail 7-6-5. The 3-5-2-1 pattern, clear. 765. I'm measuring the scale note, the number of the scale notes in a major scale fitting the chord. 3-5-2-1, 7-6-5. On the C major 7 chord, I play down the scale 7-6-5-4 and then I add the 3-5-2-1 pattern. On the C major chord, I play down the scale 7-6-5-4 and I add the 3-5-2-1 pattern. Fitting the pattern into a 2-bar 2-5-1 progression could look like this. Playing up the F major chord as an upstructure of the D minor 9 chord. On the G7 I use the standard bebop phrase. Up the D minor chord, standard bebop, and then you recognize the rest of the line 3-5-2-1, 7-6-5. In this example, on the 2-bar 2-5-1 line on C, I start on the chromatic approach note to the F major chord, the upper structure of the D minor 9 chord, running up the F major chord. On G7 I play the pattern I will later use in this video, the 6-5-3-2 pattern. This pattern leads perfectly into the 5th of the C major 7 where I play up the scale and back, hitting the 3-5-2-1 pattern on the end of that bar. The whole lick. The 3-5-2-1 pattern on minor 7 chords. Using the same shapes on different chords is of course great because the ease of the technical appliance. Looking at the 3-5-2-1 on the A minor chord. Playing the 3-5-2-1 shape, then moving up the A minor arpeggio. Up the A minor scale from the root A to the 5th E. From the E, applying the 3-5-2-1 shape. Adding the 3-5-2-1 pattern to the A minor 7 in a 1-bar 2-5-1. On A minor I play the 3-5-2-1 pattern. Going to the D7 scale, playing up the D7 scale from B to E. Hitting the G major chord on the major 7, the F sharp. Up and down the scale. Starting with the 3-5-2-1 pattern on the A minor 7 chord. On the D7 I play the same pattern as before on the G major chord. The F sharp, the G, the F sharp, the E. Going to the D on the G major 7 chord, playing down the arpeggio and the scale. The 3-5-2-1 pattern on a dominant 7 chord. Playing the 3-5-2 pattern, then running down the scale on the arpeggio of the C7. Perfect for dominant chords. I really like the simplicity of these patterns because they state the clarity of the chord so much. Again on the C7, down the C7 scale from the B flat to the F, and then hitting that 3-5-2-1 pattern. Adding the dominant 3-5-2-1 pattern to the short 2-5-1 progression. Playing down the G minor 7 arpeggio in the 3rd inversion. Applying the 3-5-2-1 pattern to the C7. Playing up the F major scale and arpeggio from the 3rd, the A, ending down the scale. Beginning on the chromatic approach note to the B flat, on the B flat major triad, the upper structure of the G minor 7 chord, playing the 3-5-2 pattern on the C7. On F major, I encircle the F with the A, E and G, ending on the E, the 7th of the F major chord. The 3-5-2 4-note shape, how to practice technically. When working with these shapes, there is a certain fit to the pattern. The pattern does not sound great on all steps of the major scale because of the distinct intervals in the shape. When you practice the technical part on this pattern like this, I would recommend you to take the pattern up and down a chromatic scale like this. You should move the pattern up and down the chromatic scale, and you can also play the patterns in small groups. Now groupings of 3. Another great way to play these patterns is a whole tone distance. When you practice the patterns in whole tone steps, there are 2 rows of each half a step away from each other. Beginning on F sharp, you get a row of F sharp, A flat, B flat, C, D, E. Beginning on the F, you get a row F, G, A, B, D flat, E flat. Think about this when you play these patterns. Again, just run the patterns up, starting really slow, getting this into my fingers. Really, really slow. Use the creativity to change what patterns, 3 up, 3 down, whatever you can think of, but be creative in how you practice your technical stuff. Remember, when you technical practice these exercises, think them on a specific chord. F, I can think on F major, F7 or D minor 7 chord. So I'm thinking now F7, G7 or D minor 7, E minor 7. Remember to think the name of the chord when you are playing it. Think these patterns. Think the chords. If you're looking for other scale patterns, you're welcome to take a look at this video. 3 scale patterns you must know. Check the link in the description. 6-5-3-2 pattern, the most flexible pattern. This is the great Coltrane 4-note shape. 2 whole steps and a minor third away from each other. Minor third. Coltrane uses this on a dominant chord like this. On this C7. On the C7 you play the note 6-5-3-2 in the scale of C7. 6-5-3-2. A, G, E, D. Using this pattern on a 1-bar 2-5-1 on the C7 could look like this. Down the B flat major chord as an upper structure of the G minor 9, playing the pattern 6-5-3-2 on the C7 chord, A, G, E, D, going down the arpeggio on the scale of the F major chord. This 6-5-3-2 pattern gives you, as with the 3-5-2-1 pattern, possibilities to play the pattern over more chords and scales because of the note combination. The note on the G7 changed position in the chord to 9-1-6-5, but are the same notes. Now it's just the 9-1-6-5, A, G, E, D on a G7 chord. On the G7, the 9-1-6-5 pattern here I use the pattern over the G9 chord in the short 2-5-1 in C, D minor, G7, C major, down the D minor triad, then hitting the 9-2-6-5 pattern and ending on the C major scale and arpeggio going up. This incredible flexible pattern also fits an A7. Looking for other chords where the pattern fits, you get the A7 chord. The notes are the same, A, G, E, D. The position in the scale changes. Now you get a 1-7-5-4. Looking at a progression A7 to D major using the 1-7-5-4 pattern. Running down the 1-7-5-4, then playing 3-1-2-3 on the A7, C sharp, A, B, C sharp. On the D major chord, I play from the 9th to the 5th. You can fit this great pattern over the D7 too. You get the same notes as previous, but the position changes again. On the D7 the pattern is 5-4-2-1, A, G, E, D, 5-4-2-1. On a short 2-5-1 in G, A minor, D7, G7, you can apply the pattern like this. This pattern, the 6-5-3-2 on a dominant chord, can be used on other chords where the notes fit the scale. It's incredibly flexible. Check this chord scheme where you can see where the 6-5-3-2 pattern fits. On a D minor chord, E minor chord, on a G minor 9 chord, A minor 7 chord, the C major chord, D major chord, F major, G major chord. In all these combinations, the 4 notes get different positions in the scale, but it's the same pattern. The technical practice of the 6-5-3-2 pattern. Again, I would technically practice this going through a chromatic scale and the 2 whole tone scales. Start really slowly. Just taking a couple of steps up this pattern. But again, be very, very creative. Playing it up, playing it down the scale. Go really slow, get this into your fingers. Practice in groups of 3, 4, 5, up and down the scales. More Coltrane patterns. If you want to look into more Coltrane patterns, how to practice and how to use, you're really welcome to check the Coltrane Basic Pattern Practice module. The Coltrane Basic Practice module, major 7, minor 7 and dominant 7 chords, takes you through how to thoroughly practice the Coltrane patterns on the basic minor, major and dominant chords. The module has added very useful mutations of the Coltrane patterns, which makes the sound even easier to use. New patterns still fitting the basic chords are added to make you able to dig deeper. And the Coltrane Basic Pattern Practice module takes you through a lot of examples to make the sound and use of the Coltrane patterns even more clear. You can check the link to the Coltrane Practice module in the description below. I really appreciate your questions and comments, so please fire away in the comments below. Likes, subscribes and shares are always welcome. Thank you. All links mentioned in this video are available below in the description. Play music, have fun.